Therapy is surrounded by a surprising number of myths still. So, for example, that you have to be ready for your therapy, you have to be in a really deep, dark hole, or you have to like your therapist for it all to work. Well, it's not true. Modern psychological therapy doesn't fit with any of those myths anymore. Hi, I'm Noel. My mission is to give you the psychological tools to understand yourself, to understand other people in your life, and to live a healthier and a happier life. Interesting question. 5 myths about therapy. Myth 1, I don't know if this is a myth, but it's certainly not true, that you have to be ready for therapy. Somehow you have to prepare yourself. It's quite a strange one, a bit like I have to be fit before I go to the gym. That's not true. You start therapy when you want to, and there are many different forms of therapy. So if you're not right for one type of therapy, you'll be right for another type of therapy. Another myth is that therapy is all about your childhood. Well, obviously childhood is important, but most modern psychological therapy these days is much more interested in giving you better mechanisms for managing whatever distress that you're going through. Another myth is that it is gender specific or color specific, race specific. There are certain cultures that say that we don't have mental health problems. Let me give you a little fact. In cultures that don't even have the word for depression, you can still see depressive symptoms. So modern psychological therapy is based upon evidence, and we're very clear that although we may need to make adaptations to meet cultural needs or gender needs, because there's differences in experience, we can do that with the various modalities and make sure that we provide services that are appropriate to you as an individual. Another myth is that you have to be really suffering to get therapy. That's a myth I really want to break. A lot of modern psychological therapy is designed to improve your functioning on an everyday basis, and actually usually has a really good set of skills that mean you can prevent a lot of distress, or certainly reduce the intensity or the longevity of it. And the final myth about psychological therapy is that you have to like the therapist. I know that sounds strange, doesn't it? So, like the evidence is quite clear that if somebody has appropriate techniques and gets you to do the work, you can dislike them quite a lot, to be honest, and you may well do. Indeed, and it'll still work, because that's the whole point about modern techniques, is it overcomes this previous problem with therapy, that you had to form a really deep, trusting relationship with one individual. That's sort of not really how we think about it now. In fact, with something like CBT, you can get a computer program and get quite a lot out of it just working with a computer. So that myth needs to go. But obviously, if you meet somebody that you feel more comfortable with, that sort of sense of comfortableness in your body, etc., will help you do the uncomfortable things that they are inevitably going to ask you to do. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me a lot, folks.